Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Sofirn SR23 Everyday Carry Flashlight with UV light. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. Here we have some specs on the back. For the brightness level, on the low mode it's 5 lumens, on maximum it's 3300 to 1100 lumen. With the UV light it's 0.8 watts and 3 watts for low and high. Runtime on low mode is 290 hours, so that gives you around 12 days. On maximum, it's 90 seconds to 150 minutes. So this is going to run for a minute and a half on the highest mode, then it's going to drop down to the lower mode and run for maybe about 2.5 hours, I think. And the UV light is 23 hours on low mode and 4.5 on high. The throw on minimum mode is 9 meters, on high it's 200 meters. This has an IP68 waterproof rating. I think that's a 1 meter drop rating, 200 meter throw. We have dimensions here and weight. So let's get this open. So this has an insulating piece either in the front or the back. Here we have the manual. Let's take a quick look at it. Now you're going to want to read through this on your own. So here we have the specs again, and more specs here. The UV light is 365 nanometer. The battery is a 21700, uses USB Type-C charging. This talks about the operation. So for the UV light, you do a single click on the button, then you long press to change between high and low. On the white light, you single click to turn it on, and you long press for stepless dimming, double click for turbo, triple click for strobe and SOS, and long press to turn off. It comes with a lanyard, USB Type-C to USB Type-C charge cable, and the flashlight itself. Let's pull that out. Let's open the end. So there we have the little tab that keeps it from actuating while it's in shipment. Here we have the battery, 5000 milliamp hour 21700, and it looks like if there was a tab in this end you could just open up the back cap and it would fall out, but it was in the back. Now this does have reverse polarity protection, so if you put this battery in backwards it will probably not work. You just need to swap it around. You can see there is a gasket here, so to put this on you want to press in while you turn it. That's tight. So this is made of aluminum, and we have a rubber grip here. We have a two-way clip, so you can clip it from this side or the other side. Here's USB Type-C charging. Let's try charging it. So I don't know if you can see it, but this little light is lit up where it's charging, and it's currently charging at 1.12 amps. So that can vary depending on state of charge of the flashlight. So I'll close this up so we can have that waterproof rating. So I'll demonstrate the modes here. We'll turn it on. Press it again to turn it off. We'll turn it on, we'll hold the button down, and we have the stepless dimming. So when I got to the highest amount it flashed, and now if I have my hand in front of this, it's very warm. And we can see it does say hot surface here. Now I'll hold it down again. And now we're on that low mode. So if we double click this, we're in turbo mode. Double click again, we're going to be in the lowest mode. So I'll turn that off. Now if we triple click, we're going to have strobe mode. So this is going to be a flashing light, and we'll have other flashing lights in this video a bit. So here we have that strobe mode. We'll triple click again. And here we have SOS mode. So this is going to flash out SOS. So we'll turn it off. Now if you want to go directly to low mode, you can hold down the power button and it will go into the low mode. So if you're camping and you get up in the middle of the night and you want just a tiny bit of light to see, you can hold that down and go right to that low mode and it won't blow out your vision. Now this does have a lockout mode, so we can click this 4 times. It flashed a couple times. Now if I press this now, it's just going to flash. It's not going to turn on. So if you pack this in a storage bag and something is pressing up against this, it's not accidentally going to turn it on. So to turn that off, I'll click it 4 times. Looks like it came on. So now it's out of the mode. Now I can hold this down to adjust it to full brightness. Now I'm just showing the modes here on my bench, but I am going to do further demonstration of this light. So here we have the UV light, and when this is on, this is actually very warm against my skin. You can feel it. So now if I hold this down, it's going to go to the low UV light. So I'm going to plug this in. I'll get this fully charged, and then I'll do further demonstration of the regular light and the UV light. I can also install this lanyard, and it does come with some extra O-rings. So I'll just pinch the end of this and I'll pass it through here and run it back through itself. There we go. Now I'll cut to the tests. Okay, I have this charged up, so I'm going to do my first test. So this is a short throw test. I'm at 4 feet. I have my camera 4 foot from the wall, and I have the flashlight around 4 foot from the wall. So I'll turn the light on. So here we're on the brightest mode. Now I'm holding it a little closer here, so you can see we have a bright spotlight in the middle, and then it kind of fades out to a dimmer light, but it's all very even. It's all very nice looking light. So I'll hold the switch down, and we'll see this dims to the low mode. You can see that there. Still a nice even light. So I'll turn this off. Now I'll just hold the power button down until we have the low light turn on, and that's the low light. I think that's at the same level as the stepless dimming. So let's double tap. So there we have turbo mode. See, very bright there. Double tap again. We have low mode. Now triple tap. We have that strobe. And here we have SOS. Now let's try the UV mode. So this is UV on high. Now this isn't going to look super bright because the wall is not phosphorescent. We'll hold that down, and here we have UV on low. You can see that a little bit. So there's not a lot to see with UV here, but I will show some better UV in a bit. Okay, so to start off, I'm in the engine bay of my 2000 Land Cruiser, and we'll test out this UV light. So I have the power steering pump in front of me. It's very dark, so I don't think you can see it. I'll turn the UV light on, and you can see a little bit here. Now when I pull this out, you can see this is glowing bright. So I put a dye in here, so if this leaks, I can look through the engine bay and identify a leak. So this is on the low mode, and this is on the high mode. Now I did previously have a leak down here, but it's kind of washed away and it kind of resealed itself. But a UV light like this can be great for diagnosing things. You can get dyes for oils. This is an oil-based dye, so you can use it in power steering fluid, engine oil, and other oil-based fluids. And you can also get dyes for AC systems to help search for AC leaks. Now, being that this is a very bright UV light, it really helps to identify even smaller leaks where you don't have a lot leaking. I don't know how evident this will be, but the leak was right down here, so you can kind of see a little bit of green right there. Okay, so here I'm standing at the end of my 50-foot driveway. So I'll turn the light on, and you can see it's lighting up the whole driveway. Lots of even light here. I'll hold it down. We'll go to the dimmest mode, and I can barely see it on my garage doors. So if it was pitch black out and you're in the middle of the woods, this could work very well if your eyes are adjusted to the light. Otherwise, you probably want a little brighter. So here's a little bit more brightness here, and you can see fairly well with that. But if you really want the detail, you're going to want to turn it up all the way. So I can turn it off, and I can double click and turn on that turbo mode there. Now if I triple click, we're going to see that flicker. And here's that beacon mode. Let's try the UV light. I'm not really seeing the UV light at distance. I don't have anything to reflect off of. So here I have a car tire, as if I was on the side of the road changing a tire. I'll turn the light on, and this is very bright. Turn this down. And here I have it on the lowest mode. So you could use this on the lowest mode, but then if you dropped a lug nut and you need to search for it, you could turn it up a little bit and search around with it. It's very bright for that. So the UV light can also be good for charging glow-in-the-dark items. So here I have some filament. I'll turn the light on, and we'll charge it up. Turn the light off, and you can see this is glowing very well. So the back of this light is also magnetic. So here I have the hood of my car. Now my hood is made of aluminum, so it's not going to stick to that, but the latch is steel, so I can stick it right on there, turn the light on, and here we're lighting up the whole engine bay with this suspended by that magnet from that hood latch. So that's the Sofirn SR23 everyday carry flashlight with UV light. What you have here is a very compact light. It's very bright, has a nice number of modes on it, so you can go from dim to bright, but it has the added value of having the UV light. So this would be great for automotive work. You can use the regular flashlight just for when you need light, but then if you want to use something like UV dyes, you can turn it to UV mode. You could also use this if you're into rocks and you want to find rocks that glow with UV. You can use it to find stains, and sometimes it's just fun to go around looking at things with UV light. And the nice thing about this light, it's a very bright UV light. So if you've used a weaker light and it's not giving you the results you want, you could use this light. This light may be a better option. So if you're looking for a light to put in your toolbox, backpack, camping gear, I think this is a great option. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.